This is My Next Question, a Jewelers of America and National Jeweler podcast, sponsored by Darm International. Hello, and welcome to My Next Question, a National Jeweler and Jewelers of America podcast. I'm Amanda Gizzi.
And I'm Michelle Graff. Welcome to episode 7, our officially halfway through the year episode. Amanda, I'm so happy you're here with me today. How's your summer going?
It's good. I can't believe we're halfway through the year. I can't believe
crazy.
It's July. But it's been an exciting summer so far. I mean, World Cup fever is major in my house. So we are, like, every single game is on. There's lots of screaming happening at all times. Lots of, gaggles of teenage boys coming in and out of my house for games. So it's been super fun to be part of that, and to have it here in North America has been really special, I think, for New York. It's also been super hot, which I have to say, I know you're shaking your head no. I'm shaking my head yes. I'm here for it. We only get it for a short period of time. So bring on the summer, bring on the heat. I'm here for it.
We're going to have an extended discussion about summer later.
I think we are.
So I just got back from vacation.
Yes,
and
welcome back.
Thank you. I spent some time with family in Texas, which is always nice. And then I came back, and it was approximately 1,000 degrees. So I spent a lot of time in my air-conditioned apartment, purging, reorganizing, cleaning. Very Virgo vacation. I loved it. So I do that all day.
Is that a tag? Do you own that? I think
Virgo
you should own
vacation.
that.
I think I should. I could start a separate podcast.
Trademark.
And so I spent all day in my air-conditioned house doing that on my days off.
Which is so important.
Yeah, which is important, and it feels really good.
Yeah.
And I was like redoing all my art, so I love that.
Yeah.
And then at night I was going out in the evening and sipping beers, and also watching the World Cup, which I played soccer for a long time, so I love the World Cup.
Great.
I also had some friends in town. They were friends who had moved away from New York after the pandemic. I don't get to see them that often. And they were in town, so we all got together, and that's always really nice.
Nice.
Because I was on vacation, I'm a little bit behind on industry news, but I did
Apparently, Michelle does sleep while she's on vacation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Jewelry didn't sleep, but Michelle did.
I did. I did read an article by Marian Faisal in the Adventuring Substack about anklets, which are a summer jewelry, and I'm using air quotes here, staple. And Marian apparently loves them. And I have to say, I enjoyed the article. I thought it was really well done, as always, by Miss Faisal.
Yes.
But, I have to side with 10,000 things here. I don't like anklets, and I don't think anybody above the age of 10 should be wearing them. So, Amanda, we know what you feel about two-tone. I want you to talk to us about anklets, and also talk to us about, it's so hot. It's middle of July here.
Yeah.
Summer jewelry, what are your summer jewelry staples? And you're going to have to answer the anklet question.
Okay, so anklet question first. Let's start with that. I, too, am not an anklet person. I've never enjoyed my ankles enough to want to highlight them in any way.
Same.
But I do respect them as a category. And there's one person I have to tell you who, when I think about anklets, I think about doing it better than anybody else that I know, and that's Deirdre Featherstone. Deirdre Featherstone, if you guys don't know, is an amazing jewelry designer, but she also rides a Harley, and she is the most, can I say badass? She's the most badass person.
I'm certainly not going to edit you.
She's, she'll show up on her Harley, and she wears a stack of diamond anklets. And they're so incredible, and only Deirdre Featherstone can rock these huge diamond anklets. So when I think about anklets, that's who I think about. So that part I love. But I don't think that they're for everybody. But I do appreciate them as a summer staple, because it is one of those things that you're not going to wear year-round. So it's going to be like something that you can wear only during the summer. God bless you if you want to wear them. Not for me, but for others. Other jewelry that for summer, obviously I tend to go lighter. I mean, I tend to reach more towards my silver tones, and obviously my turquoise and my, pink sapphires and my pink tourmalines, tons of sea greens and blues. I tend to lean that way in the summer. And then just sort of light layers.
Okay.
Nothing too heavy, but I do love a good color stack in the summer, a longer charm stacked on in different colorways that I don't normally wear during the winter.
Okay.
How about you, Michelle?
One more question before we move on to me. What is your drink of the summer?
Oh, my drink of the summer, margarita.
Very good.
Skinny jalapeno margarita.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, a little spicy, a little sweet. Love that.
I love a gin and tonic.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
I've never had a gin and tonic.
What?
I've never had a gin and tonic.
Really?
Yeah. We'll have to put that on our next.
Yeah, we'll have to figure
maybe
that
we'll
out.
have those in our next episode.
When I was little, my mom used to sit in the yard and drink gin and tonics with my neighbors.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that for her.
She loved it too. Anyway, so,
Yeah.
Okay, I agree about the summer jewelry. Summer's also when, and I know this is super on trend right now, is when I reach for my beads.
Yep. Totally.
And they don't feel winter to me. They feel summer. They feel sundress, strapless dress, spaghetti strap dress, all of these things.
Yes.
That's when I want to wear my beads. And I agree too. Like, one thing, I have them on today. One thing I don't wear as much of in the summer is rings, because my fingers tend to swell up.
Yeah, sure.
And I think sometimes you get home and it feels uncomfortable to take them off and just uncomfortable to wear them.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel like I agree, just wearing less in the summer, like less overall. You want to be light, you want to be free, you want to be cool. So I agree, I don't like pile the jewelry on as heavily as I do in the winter.
Right.
So one pair of earrings that I really like in the summer, they belong to my grandma. They're just big, probably plastic, like teardrop shape yellow earrings. And they just have a round post and there's just a big teardrop shape, earring. And it's just, they're beautiful. And I love them. And they're bright yellow. They're summer. They scream summer.
And I love a good hoop, like the ones you have on, Michelle. I love a good hoop in the summer.
Well, these are my Toby Pomeroy hoops. Great year round, so light. And our birthstone. It's peridot.
I love me some peridot from time to time.
All right. Well, we're gonna let the anklet conversation simmer, because I know that's gonna start another discussion, which we love.
Yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that we're gonna discuss on today's episode. Top of mind for me right now, because I literally just wrote about it, is the museum robbery in France, the Musée Lalique, which is a museum that is in northeastern France dedicated to jeweler, glassmaker, artist René Lalique. 27 pieces of jewelry were stolen from that museum, and I'm hopeful they can get them back. We're also going to talk about a topic that's a big conversation in industry right now, and I don't mean lab-grown diamonds.
High gold prices.
No, I don't. Okay. I don't want to hear about either of those.
Tariffs?
No.
Okay.
Tariffs.
All right.
The shortage of bench jewelers.
Okay.
And you have some information for that, for
yeah.
us on that. And we also just recently, National Jeweler recently published a story about Jewelers Mutual's partnership with SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design, that generated a lot of really interesting conversation online. So we're going to get into that in a bit. Yeah. So that is all coming up after this short break. Stick with us.
DARM International is a global leader in natural diamond manufacturing, delivering exceptional craftsmanship through advanced traceability and net zero sustainable practices since 2022. With over 50 years of expertise and 4,500 skilled artisans, they craft diamonds from 0.18 to 100 plus carats, supporting retailers worldwide with consistent quality and responsible sourcing. Visit www.ddpl.com to learn more.
So, as I mentioned, I just got back from vacation and I'm a little bit behind in the news, which kind of slows down in the summer a little bit anyway. It doesn't sleep, but maybe it does take a nap in the summer.
Oh, a little cat nap in the summer. A little
cat
siesta.
Nap. Little cat nap. One story, as I mentioned, that we've been covering that caught my eye is, of course, the robbery at the Lalique Museum in France. And the loss totaled about $5 million. And as of this recording, none of the jewelry has been recovered. And one of the main objects stolen, and the one the museum said that they were the saddest to lose, was a big woman woman with open wings dragonfly pendant, I think it was called. It was translated from French.
Sure.
But anyway, it's beautiful. It's gold with diamonds and plique jour enamel wings, and it's just gorgeous. And it was the first piece the museum acquired before it opened even. That museum opened in 2011, I believe, and that piece was acquired in 2002. It was acquired just as they were talking about opening this Lalique Museum. Yeah. And the reason it is in the town it is because that is where Renee Lalique opened a glass factory in 1921, 1922, and Lalique SA still operates there today. That's the only place in the world they still make Lalique glass and jewelry, etc., which I didn't realize till I started reporting on the story, but it's the same factory he opened in 1921, and that's why there's the museum there. So that's been a big story, and of course it also called to mind the Louvre robbery, which happened last October, and the Louvre robbery was, I think, 8 million? And or there were 8 pieces of jewelry stolen. It's probably much more than 8 million. I misspoke, sorry. But they were talking crowns, tiaras, big brooches, big suites of emerald jewelry, sapphire jewelry. I mean, the Louvre robbery was crazy, and also still never recovered any of that jewelry. So that's kind of been, you know, these 2 big jewelry robberies in France, kind of back to back, if you will. That's kind of been the big news of the summer so far. So it's been it's sad to hear about, but it's been interesting to cover.
What are they saying about the odds of recovering the latest pieces? Obviously, it's a little bit different, I would think, than the pieces taken from the Louvre, being able to, you know, break down, be able to use in other things. Like,
well, that's what they're kind of saying. You know, Lalique used a lot of crystal. He used glass. He used a lot of enamel. I mean, he was a pioneer in using enamel. And yes, there were gold and diamonds, but and this is what the museum has been saying, the artistic value of the pieces is really the core value. You know, you can break down them into their materials or components and sell it off, melt it down, whatever. But that that's not worth nearly as much as the piece itself and the artistry he put into it. I mean, he was when you think of Art Nouveau, like, he's one of the main artists who comes to mind. So, I mean, they're not saying that much about the odds of recovering the pieces. They did say they provided a list of everything that was stolen in addition to the dragonfly brooch I just mentioned, or the dragonfly pendant I just mentioned, sorry. And they said that they have provided a list of everything that was stolen to the authorities and a description, so they know what they're looking out for. And, you know, as of this recording, the investigation is ongoing. So it's a case we'll be following, and definitely I would love to see them get those pieces back. Because, at the end of the day, they're not that much worth that much when you break them down for their parts. And they're very distinct. You're not going to be able to sell them as is. So
provenance is everything.
They belong in a museum. Is where they belong. They're not, anyway, I hope they can be recovered. Security is always top of mind, you know, as all things. It's like, what can we learn from things of this nature? That's for sure. It's because robberies are always of concern, obviously, for the jewelry industry. So it's always sad to hear about anywhere in the world,
one.
and whether it's a store or a museum.
One piece of news that I wanted to talk about is an exciting piece, which is that the MJSA Education Foundation has their first certified advanced apprentice graduate of the MJSA Mentor and Apprenticeship Program. So Grace Barden is their first certified apprentice, which is so exciting.
That's awesome.
In 2023, MJSA Education Foundation launched the program to help professional jewelers bring on and train bench workers, and being part of the Department of Labor, being a certified program through the Department of Labor. It's an exciting program. It's been successful in Europe to have formal apprenticeship programs, and to be able to have one here in the United States at the time where we need it the most, where we need to be able to bring in bench jewelers and to be able to train bench jewelers
and to be able to retain bench jewelers.
Exactly right. And to have jewelers who believe in the education and keeping the education alive and being willing to put the time in to train apprentices is incredible. And that's the part that the jewelry industry can do. So she completed her 50-week curriculum. She was an apprentice at Joss Jewelers in West Allis, Wisconsin, and now she works as a bench jeweler at Heidi Lowe Gallery in Lewes, Delaware. So huge congratulations to Grace on being this first apprentice. And my hope is that...
And congratulations to the store as well.
Yes, congratulations to both stores for being part of, this monumentous occasion. To be the first is exciting. There's a couple more who are on her tails, who are about ready to be certified as well, to graduate from the program. So it's all positive steps in the right direction. I hope more jewelers will follow suit and reach out to MJSA Education Foundation to learn more of how they can they can be part. I mean, everybody says, what can I do? What can we do? What should be done about the bench jeweler shortage? This is one of the things that we can do.
Yeah, that is.
So.
It's interesting. I mean, it's obviously, as we said, it's a big issue in the industry right now. And it's interesting, too, because National Jeweler's senior editor, Lenore Fido, just did a long story. She went down to the Savannah College of Art and Design, SCAD, with Jewelers Mutual in May. Because as many people might already know, Jewelers Mutual has donated $10 million to SCAD to establish a bench jewelers program there and a studio, and they're in a 10-year partnership.
Yes.
So she went down for the opening of the studio. She met with students. She met with SCAD faculty. She interviewed SCAD faculty and Jewelers Mutual executives. And she did a story, and it was a great story. It's really interesting. She enjoyed her trip. She loved meeting the students particularly. Yeah. And in her story, she kind of explained how everything was working. And we shared it on National Jewelers Instagram. And it started a lot of really interesting conversation, which I do like to see, but I will give this caveat. Sometimes in Instagram, there are comments, but I wonder how many people who are making comments actually read the story before they comment. Because we see this a lot. Somebody says, well, what about this problem? And I'm like, well, that was literally addressed in paragraph 3 of the story you obviously didn't read. And I'm not saying that about all these Instagram commenters, but that is something I keep in mind when I'm reading through Instagram comments.
Of course.
But a couple of things that came up that I thought were interesting. Yep. Some people said they thought the $10 million would be better spent divided up among various trade schools. People were saying they think trade schools get people more ready. It's a better training ground for becoming a bench jeweler than an art school. I don't necessarily agree with that, but that was people's opinion. There were also a lot of remarks indicating that there is a shortage of bench jewelers because they are underpaid. And then, of course, we also had a couple of positive remarks, people saying, like, so glad to see this. We know this is a problem. Thank you for doing this. So what did you had seen the comments. I know we've talked about this. What was your take on the conversation there?
I mean, I think it's such an important conversation, for one. I mean, I certainly hats off to Jewelers Mutual for making the investment. I don't care where they made the investment. I'm just proud of them for doing something. And I think that's one lesson that we should all take away from this, is that it's better to do something than to do nothing.
Yeah. Even though this is an industry, I feel like a lot of times when people do something, there's so many naysayers and critics that pop out of the woodwork that aren't doing anything.
Sure. Absolutely. And that's definitely going to come with it. But for them to make this big investment, to partner with SCAD on this, I think it's wonderful. I definitely know that there are lots of other options here in the U.S. that are great, worthy programs for people to be part of. But Jewelers of America has also, talked a lot with Jewelers Mutual and with SCAD about ways that we can help support them in this journey. So we are, working closely with them to do, things like a mentorship program, hopefully. And there's lots of other ways that we can all sort of do our part to help not just SCAD, but to find other programs that we can be part of. I definitely feel like the industry is best when we're all, sort of coming together and coming up with solutions.
Rowing in the same direction.
All rowing in the same direction. But I do feel like we are at this tipping point where, it's everybody's seeing the need, and that there's like lots of, momentum all headed in the right direction. Yes. We're not all backpedaling against the current, so to speak, since we're on that analogy, Michelle.
Yeah, since we're now on a boat.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of things that we're doing, with Jewelers of America, sort of, we've been beating this drum for a little while too. We have our careers guide. MJSA, as we mentioned, also has the apprenticeship program. They have a website dedicated towards young people who want to enter the jewelry industry called Be a Jeweler, to find all of these great resources. So it's finding ways to bring people in. One exciting thing that we just announced this week, you wrote about it, Michelle, thank you. It was our Impact Initiative. Yes. And so we had 8 recipients of our Impact Initiative.
Do you want to real quick explain the Impact Initiative in case people don't know about it?
So thank you for that, Michelle. So Jewelers of America has an Impact Initiative, which is a multi-pronged program. It's not just a fund, but part of it is a fund where we allocate some resources, financial resources, to other nonprofit associations in the jewelry industry who are working towards either education, career development. There's a lot of different platforms that people can create programming around that we will help support because they're in line with our mission at Jewelers of America. So this is our second year of the Impact Initiative, and we were able to, grow the fund, and we were able to give to more worthy recipients this year. So there are 8 of them. You can read about them on National Jeweler or on jewelers.org. But 3 of those recipients were in the bench jeweler space, which I felt like was very...
So almost half.
So very much apropos of what's happening in the industry. So the first is 92nd NY, formerly the 92nd Street Y, their Teen Gems program. They're looking to grow, which is another great place for people in New York to go and learn how to make jewelry. So that is one. And then we also have the Future Jewelers Academy, which we were proud to support last year, and they are just growing leaps and bounds. So the Future Jewelers Academy has a school. They started with a bench school at Baldwin High School.
In Long Island.
In Long Island, correct, in New York, and sort of had created this beautiful program for the students to come and learn how to make jewelry. And they have been, lucky enough to be the recipients of, some benches and some things like that the students are really getting hands-on experience, through their local high school, which is incredible. I just went and attended their graduation from the program, so that was really nice to see. And then later that day, Malia McNaughton, who runs the program, she left that graduation, went to GIA, and went to the graduation from GIA from a student who had graduated from Baldwin the year before, from the Future Jewelers Academy. So it's nice to see it working, and they're growing really fast. And then we also are working with the Georgia Jewelers Association, who's working on getting bench jewelry programs, training programs in front of their local high schools, to be able to empower their jewelers in Georgia to be able to be ambassadors, within the industry. So all positive steps moving forward. So I encourage the discussion. I think discussion is where we do learn and we come up with good ideas, but I also encourage the industry to support what's there, and let's think about ways that we can make the most impact together. So all good things.
Well, thank you. These all are good things. And I know this is a big issue, and it's one we're going to be talking about into the future. And I think I have a hunch it's probably going to be the topic of an upcoming episode of My Next Question.
I think so too.
But on today's episode, we have 2 retailers. Our guests today are Mildred Marcano and Yael Reinhold from Reinhold Jewelers in Puerto Rico. They're going to talk to us a little bit about what's coming up for the holiday season, the new designers they're excited about, and the challenge of doing business in Puerto Rico. So they'll be joining us next. Please stay with us. We'll be back after this short break.
Jewelers of America is the most trusted and influential voice of the jewelry industry. With a mission to empower and unite its members, Jewelers of America provides guidance, education, and advocacy to promote excellence, integrity, and success in an evolving marketplace. Since 1906, Jewelers of America has been advancing the fine jewelry industry, setting high ethical standards, and fostering professional growth for their members. Jewelers of America represents a large, diverse membership of retailers and suppliers who commit annually to the organization's code of professional practices. Visit jewelers.org to become a member and get insider access to the many member benefits. Hi, thank you so much to both of you for joining us for My Next Question. We're so excited to have you with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to dive right in. We have so many questions for you both. Obviously, you are both superstars in the jewelry industry, and we're so excited to have you here. So let me just start off with Yael. Having Marie-Helene as your mother, what was it like to grow up in the jewelry industry at Reinhold Jewelers?
That's such a hard question because she was also just my mother, for me and my sisters. Yeah. We lived above the original store, and so the store was just home also. So it's like, what's the phrase about a fish in water? Like, what's water like? But when I look back, it's amazing to think about the designers I just grew up knowing and watching their art develop, like David Yurman from, I was born in 74, so from soon after that to now, and seeing him grow as a jeweler and a designer, and everyone else as well. The piece that my friends make the most fun of is how much jewelry we just had laying around as kids. Like the way it was just part of our lives and not like precious.
You show up at school wearing your diamond earrings.
I wish I grew up in a house with jewelry just laying around.
It's so great.
But it was wonderful.
Oh, it must have been a magical way to grow up, and it's so fun to hear. You know, it was just your life. You didn't know any better. So that's a special thing that so few people in business get to experience, is that family, you know, business of just, it's the life you've always known. It's like it chose you as much as you chose it.
Absolutely.
So that's very cool.
Mildred, if my math is correct, you've been with Reinhold Jewelers a little over 20 years now. So what has kept you at the company so long? And when you were young and growing up, like, is jewelry what you always pictured yourself doing? And is my math correct? It's been a little over 20 years, right?
Yes. I started in Reinhold when I was doing my bachelor.
Okay.
And then I did my master in business in operation because I want to work in a pharmacy. But in this company, we always have something new. Renovations, new stores, new designers. Every year we have something new. At the end, I'm still here. I'm very happy. We had a great team. I have a lot of coworkers that they have been with us for more than 15 years. So I think that is one of the reasons that I'm still here.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I probably would have no offense to all the pharmacists out there. I probably would have chosen jewelry over working in a pharmacy too.
And I did my master, and I did an internship, but I never left.
The pull was always there for you.
Yeah, there's so many people, like, that's such a story in jewelry. Like, I started just as a random job, like in high school or while I was in college, as like just a part-time job to make some money, and they just never left. It also happened to me. National Jeweler was my first job when I moved to New York, and I just never left.
Same with me.
Same.
So talk to us a little bit about Marie-Helene, Ms. Morrow, about that time. You sort of mentioned it, Yael, when you talked about the jewelry designers. So she was the first independent retailer to really give designers brand recognition. Even David Yurman's quoted as saying, you know, that was unheard of at the time for them to put a plaque in front of a piece of jewelry and declare the designer's name. So who are some of those brands? Obviously, you mentioned David Yurman that were a part of your core business, and who are some of the brands that you're most passionate about today?
So designers that were part of our core business that still continue to be decades later: Alex Sepkus, Monica Rich-Kassan.
Yes, of course.
Oh my God, now I'm going to blank and leave
Sevan.
people out who are so important. Sevan.
Sevan, of course. Yes.
Oh my God, Temple. Thank you, Mildred.
Yeah, she have been with us forever.
Iconic brands for sure. And what about some of the emerging brands that you're really excited to have in the store and to get to see their journey sort of explode through the presence of Reinhold? And what does that mean to you guys?
And like, we're talking like designers you've discovered at Couture or wherever, like in recent years.
Our newest, well, Mildred can talk about other pickups from Couture, but Sanzi we picked up this year. And I even bought a stack personally. I'm super excited.
She is such a treasure.
But Mildred, talk about others.
Sanzi, we're very excited to have her. And who else? Castro. He was.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Love that.
He was in the Design Atelier this year and maybe
The
last
past 2
year
years,
too.
So we picked him
The
this
past 2
year.
years, yeah.
So we have Castro, we have Sanzi. We also
Great.
have Marimas. She used to be at Couture, and then she left, and then she's back. So she's gonna be in Reinhold now.
That's
Exciting. Well, those are all powerhouse brands. We're excited to see their journey.
Yeah, those are all really good designers.
Yeah.
I know, when I was thinking about getting ready for this interview, I was thinking about how Reinhold Jewelers as an independent jeweler faces a lot of the same challenges as other independent jewelers, but you also have more unique circumstances in that all of your stores are in Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico regularly suffers from interruptions in power, water service. So can you tell me a little bit about how you face those challenges that are unique to running a business in Puerto Rico and how you support the various communities where your stores are?
Mildred, do you want to start?
Well, here we have is very challenged. Right now we are in hurricane season and we have a lot of problem with the electricity. When we lost the power, we have to close our stores. But anyways, we are here. We have to face those problems and wait until the electricity is back or the water is back. I think that since we live with that like almost every day, so we are used to that. But it's not acceptable, of course, but it's our reality right now. After Hurricane Maria, the situation is really complicated.
And Hurricane Maria was 2019?
2017.
Yep.
2017, wow.
Yeah, and the power grid still is not as back to its normal stability. We do a lot for our community. That's one of the things we pride ourselves on, as being part of the larger Puerto Rican community. So we have certain organizations that we support on a regular basis, and then different things that we do that we don't necessarily publicize. That, for an example, we just did, this isn't even our local community actually, but we did a drive. We matched funds for Venezuela after the earthquakes.
With our team.
With our staff. Yeah, with our team. And then, so we'll do that with local organizations as well when the need arises. But we are very active community members, or try to be.
And so you mentioned that the power and water issues have been continuing since 2017. Obviously your customers understand because they're going through the same things, but do you ever think about, is generators something that could happen, or you can't do that there, or it just wouldn't make any difference if you were the only business open with power?
Oh, well, our stores are inside the mall, 4
Okay.
of them. So we depend on the mall. But
Okay.
actually, the mall where we are in Plaza Las Americas, if we lost the power in the mall, is bad. So usually when the power is back, we are one of the first ones to refit the power. But yes, we are inside the mall, so there's nothing we can do. If the mall lost the power or water,
So sometimes their generators go out.
Okay.
Sure.
And how do you handle security then when the power's out? I don't know if you want to talk about that or
no,
not.
if the powers go out, we just close our store. We close doors and we close the store and we wait. We ask if it's going to be a lot of hours. We left the mall and we wait until it's back.
And how many days a week would you say there's an interruption in either power or water?
Probably, well, now it's a really bad situation about the water, but the electricity probably once every 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I have to commend you guys. Obviously you're so caring to your community. You give back to your community, and that's half of the reason I would think that they continue to come back to you. Also, is that you're that key part of your community, and all the stories that I've always read and the interviews that I've heard about, even just during those really hard times, how you continue to take care of your employees is a shining example of how to run a business today. So, kudos to you and to your leadership teams and to your staff for all that you do. And you really are an example of what a jewelry store and a jewelry business should be. So
Right, like part of the
congrats to you.
community and supporting the community.
Of course. And obviously some of those things that we talked about are some of the reasons that you've been getting some much deserved recognition over the past couple of years, starting off with in 2025 winning the GEM Award for jewelry, winning the GEM Award for retail excellence. That one I should have at the top of my brain, off the tip of my tongue. Obviously, we were so delighted to see you both up on stage and accepting that award. Talk to us a little bit about what that meant to you.
Well, for me personally, it felt like carrying on my mom's legacy and like honoring her and doing right by her, I guess. which is, a daughter's dream. So that was, first and foremost. But it felt amazing to feel the warmth in the room and just how everyone did seem genuinely happy for us and supportive. And the jewelry industry is such a community. It really is a family. And I felt that night as much as any. We also had our entire management team present. We had clients with us. So it was really special, and Mildred can talk about her experience too. But it was a great night.
And if I'm not mistaken, you won this award right after you had just done a big renovation. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, it was a we were nominated. We were very happy, but when they said our name, we were very happy. I think it was very, very special to have all our managers there. Like I said before, a lot of my coworkers, they have been with us more than 15 years. So they had worked with Mrs. Morrow also. And I think for them to see their work and everything being recognized was really, really special.
Well, it was very special for all of us in the audience because none of us know who wins that night, including myself and my team. So to hear the roar and to hear the applause and to hear the genuine excitement for you and your team for that win is always so special. And, I think fondly of when Mrs. Morrow won the Lifetime Achievement. Those are some of my favorite moments still to this day. Her acceptance speech.
That was in 2014, I think so.
David Yurman introducing her.
I still remember what she wore.
I still remember what she wore because those are my favorite pictures. It's just burned into my memory. So it really is a full circle moment. We're so happy to have you guys as part of our Gem Awards family.
And I also was cheering, having interviewed Marie-Helene when she was inducted into the National Jeweler Retailer Hall of Fame in 2021. I was very, very happy when you won the award. There was another award, too, more recently. So just about a month or so ago, Mildred, you became the first recipient of the Jan Moore Award for Excellence at Couture, of course, named after the lovely Jan Moore, who was Couture's retailer liaison for decades. What was that moment like when your name was called at the Couture Design Awards? And I'm correct that you didn't know you were going to win, right?
No, I didn't know anything. You can see
but other people
in my face, just Yael, and I almost killed her.
She did. The best kept secret.
It was, and that day we start our day since 7:30 a.m. We had breakfast with Tim, with Paul. And it was a very long day, and when I didn't change, we went directly to the awards. And next to me was Ines from ITA. It was her first time at Couture also. It was her first time at the Design Atelier. And when they were presenting the award, I was telling her who was Jan Moore and then how she was so important for the community and how we miss her at the show. And, I was talking about her and how important is the award.
And this whole time I'm sitting on her other side dying.
And I was like, yes,
you're like,
this is the first time that they are doing this. She was so important. And then when I saw my face, I look at Yael and I said, you knew about this? And she was like, yes. And then I started telling her, oh, you didn't tell me. Anyways, it was so fast. And then our team was there, two of our managers, our supervisor. I saw them crying. It was very emotional. And I feel very, very special because the community, it's big, but it's also small. But at the end, I said, Puerto Rico is a small island, and probably nobody knows about us, and sometimes they know about us. But it was very, very, very special and very emotional. The video is beautiful. When I saw my coworkers, my sons there, I also see clients, Mrs. Morrow, a lot of designers, Steven Webster, David German, Iris Apfel was in the video. It was really beautiful made, really beautiful.
It was that and the Gem Awards video, just phenomenal.
Both the same production company. So that would explain it. The Carlo Greco is doing an amazing job for both.
I feel very, very honored. it was really, really special. Because at the end, I think that sometimes I said, I'm just doing my job, you know, but when you do something with love and passion and you really care of what you're doing, I think sometimes people see what you do.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so true. Well, it's so well deserved, Mildred. Congratulations.
you.
And congratulations to the store, the entire staff on the GEM Award as well. It's all well deserved. And I was cheering very hard for you, Mildred. I was so happy when they called your name.
Thank you, thank you.
And it was fun to have you both back on stage to present this past year too at GEM Awards. That was always fun too.
Yeah.
And
was
you'll be
fun.
back on stage at the Couture Design Awards next year, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exciting.
I said maybe I go back and say a proper speech next year.
The best speeches are
I
those from
said,
the heart. You
oh,
did
let
an
me
amazing
set my
job.
speech because last year I didn't know.
That was great. Well, talk to us a little bit about some of the things that you're excited for coming up. Obviously, it's hard to believe we're already in July, so I'm sure you're in full planning mode and execution mode heading into holiday season. Talk to us about anything that we should be looking forward to. Any inside scoops on your beloved Reinhold holiday book, perhaps?
And I don't know if you can see, but we have 2 past issues
Yes, we do.
of the Reinhold
Oh.
holiday book here. The Skies of Puerto Rico and my favorite, The Coffee of Puerto
Oh,
Rico,
Beautiful.
which
That's my
this
favorite
one
too.
came in a cute little burlap sack.
Yes.
They're
Slip, I don't know if
beautiful.
sack's the right word, but they're gorgeous.
Beautiful.
These are 2 of our favorites. So yeah, I look forward every year to getting it.
So make sure Michelle is on your list.
Yes.
Because if not, she'll be sad.
It's my little holiday gift.
Anyway, we digress. Tell us all the things.
So we are currently about to close our David Yurman boutique for a full
Okay.
remodel,
Wow.
and that will open in October.
Wow.
So that-
Just
gonna-
in time for the holidays.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big, big renovation. We're changing everything: ceiling, floors, storefront. It's gonna be beautiful.
Wow.
Okay,
Incredible.
awesome.
looking forward to, we do lots of trunk shows in the fall, obviously. So welcoming brand new designers, longtime designers.
We already have our
but-
calendar until December. Actually,
Wow.
actually until February next year.
That's amazing.
We are done.
So,
Incredible.
quick question about the trunk shows. So you mentioned brand new designers. So are these just designers you've already stalking at Reinhold, or are they designers you saw and you're like testing the waters a little bit with the trunk show? How does that work?
No, we don't test water here. If we like one designer,
When you're in, you're in.
no, if we like one designer and we believe in their work and everything, we bought them and we invite them to our store. Like,
Okay.
come to Puerto Rico is expensive, and it's I think it's also for our team. When we said we pick this designer, we buy this collection, I think they feel more compromised to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we don't test water. Yeah,
More
we're
committed.
really committed with our community and our designers.
That's
Well, I'm sure
awesome.
it's a hot ticket, so I'm sure that the community gets
And-
excited to see all the designers.
Our clients love meeting
I'm
the
sure.
designers.
Yeah.
That is.
It surprised me when I talked to other stores that they say, no, we don't bring designers because our clients are shy. Not our clients. Our clients wants to meet them, talk to them,
Yeah.
know who they are, where you come from.
Relationships are so at our core, I think. I mean, relationships amongst the staff as the longevity shows, amongst the clients and the designers. Like, we don't know how to sell jewelry without
Right.
them.
Right.
That's,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I don't think anybody.
we don't know how to do anything.
Yeah, I don't
without
think
that, I
anybody
guess.
sells jewelry without relationships. I think that's the core of the whole business, whether it's on the retail end or on the back end with the wholesalers. I mean, the whole business is relationships.
Yeah, really is.
So we have trunk shows coming up. You're going to have some new designers doing trunk shows.
Big
and
renovations.
some big renovations, standard designers you've had for a long time. Can you tell us anything about the, you don't have to give too much away, but can you tell us anything?
She's like, top secret. It stays
Top
with us.
secret, yeah. It's just going out on this broadcast. Anything at all about the holiday? Is the holiday book done? And can you tell us anything about the 2026 Reinhold Jewelers holiday book?
The only thing we can say is that it's going to be very different than any other one.
Okay.
Oh.
But that's as much of a tease.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when
last
does it go out? September, October?
first
week of November.
Okay.
Last year
Right.
was number 25, so we feel that this year we have to evolve to do
Yeah.
something new. So let's see.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. November's a long time to wait, just saying.
That's what makes it worth it, Michelle. All
Yeah,
things
very
good
true.
are worth the wait.
That's true, that's true.
Well, thank you so much to both of you for coming on my next question. We really appreciate you being with us today, and congratulations on all of your past success. And we look forward to, seeing all the wonderful things in store, and the renovations and all those wonderful things. So thanks again, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was great having you.
Thank you.
For 120 years, National Jeweler has been a trusted source of news and information for fine jewelry retailers, designers, and manufacturers. The publication delivers up-to-date information and commentary on the latest trends, headlines, and happenings via its daily newsletter and its 2 flagship print publications, The State of the Majors and the Retailer Hall of Fame. To learn more and subscribe, visit nationaljeweler.com/subscribe. You can also find us on Instagram. Our handle is @nationaljeweler, as well as on Facebook and LinkedIn.
On the last episode of My Next Question, we answered a lot of questions about Las Vegas. Michelle answered the most salacious one about what she does in her room at night.
Yeah, I wash my face and then I read a book in bed, titillating.
You're so scandalous, Michelle.
But since Vegas, we've had a chance to recharge, and the box has had a chance to rest
you went
too.
on vacation.
Yeah, I definitely did. So the box has been restocked. So I'm going to pick the first question today, which will be for you.
I'm ready. Give me something good, Michelle.
I always have something to
Slam that box shut.
Sorry. Oh, I love this one. What was your favorite cartoon when you were a kid?
Oh my gosh, my favorite cartoon. Oh my gosh, what was my favorite cartoon? Why can't I not think of any cartoons? I watched all of them.
What'd you do on Saturday morning, Amanda?
No, I watched I Dream of Jeannie.
What?
I know.
Between this and the gin and tonics, I'm done with you.
Wait, why can't I think of a single?
It's
give
not
me
that
some.
hard of a
Give me
question.
some.
The
Give me
Smurfs,
some.
Rainbow Bright, Scooby-Doo.
I loved My Little Pony.
My Little Pony, that's cute.
I loved My Little Pony. We definitely watched Smurfs, and we watched a lot of like the Hulk and like those animated, not the
She-Ra,
new scary.
He-Man.
Exactly.
I think G.I. Joe had a cartoon.
We definitely did a lot of He-Man in my house.
Yes.
My brother and my cousin painted each other green with permanent marker for the Hulk.
Nice. Oh,
so we
very
did
nice.
we got up to a lot of no good when we were little, for sure. I have no idea why I couldn't think of a single cartoon, and I have children. You would think that I would be able to remember them, but
the
alas,
Hulk
here we are.
terrified me as a child.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he was supposed to.
Yeah.
But, okay, Michelle, true or false? The industry spends way too much time talking amongst itself about lab-grown diamonds.
1,000% true. I'm so sick of hearing about it. And if I have to see one more source, news source, Substack, whatever, reporting on, this is what this person has to say about lab-grown diamonds, and this is what this person has to say about lab-grown diamonds, doesn't matter. People are buying them. Why don't you go talk to consumers and ask them about why they're buying them and what they think? They apparently like them. But it's just, we just waste so much time, like on and on and on, like the same discussions. I can't stand it. So yes, true.
Okay, you're up.
Ooh, I love this. Which current jewelry trend do you wish would go away?
Oh my gosh, Michelle.
Next time you should read the questions
I
before I put them in the box.
I should. I definitely should. I like that I don't know, however. What jewelry trend do I wish will go away? I am like really over like nameplates and initial necklaces right now.
Totally fair.
I'm just like, I don't think we need to know your name. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of where
Amanda
I'm at right
doesn't
now.
even want to know your initial.
I have so many that I love. I do love, I see their value. I'm just kind of over them right now. right now.
We don't need to know your name is the shadiest I've ever heard you be, and I love it.
Pollyanna says we don't need to know your name.
That's right, Pollyanna. It's your turn.
Okay. True or false? Another true or false for you. There are too many conferences and trade shows.
Yeah, I think we've gone overboard with the whole thing. Too many awards, too. Way too many. It's just every time you turn, somebody's launching a new something that somebody has to attend and somebody's getting an award at. It gets to be too much. And how do people have money and time to go to all these things?
Yeah.
They stress me out. So,
Okay.
Am I being mean today?
I think you're feeling fresh today. You're up.
All right, there's 2 questions left.
Okay.
I hope you get the hardest one.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure I probably will.
Oh, this is good too, though I know what your answer is going to be. True or false, summer is the worst season?
False. It is not the worst season. There are other worse seasons.
Like?
Spring.
Yeah, I know. You're a spring hater. It's weird.
I'm a spring hater. It's too short. It's too much pollen.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's too
unpredictable.
rainy. Yeah, but bring on fall, bring on winter, bring on summer.
So in order, what are your favorite seasons?
Summer, fall, winter, spring.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Last question.
Yeah.
I approve.
Okay, excellent. Last question. How do you feel about July's birthstone ruby?
So I will say that for a long time when I first started at National Jeweler, I did not care for rubies at all.
Okay.
But I say this every year. I say that rubies are growing on me a little bit more, and I have come to love rubies.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a nice birthstone for July. You just did a style file coin and pointing out that this is a great year for like going red, white, and blue with your ruby jewelry because America's 250th birthday. And, we were supporting the U.S. men's team in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Now, everyone knows they, did not make it as far as everyone would have liked, but it was
No.
fun to follow them.
Yes, it was.
And so it was like, it's
Fun
a
to root
really
for
good
them.
year for some red, white, and blue jewelry. And rubies have really grown on me. And like I said, I think it's like the perfect red, fiery, hot. It's the perfect birthstone for this time of year.
Love that. All right, well, that was fun. Thank you so much for another great episode of My Next Question. Don't forget to subscribe to My Next Question on Spotify or Apple, and follow us on Instagram at Jewelers of America members and at National Jeweler for all of the latest news and insights on the jewelry industry.
We'll be back next month with another great episode. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.